EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
He's going for a little extra.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Getting set now over the putt. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Has this one for par. Still even par for the day. Well, Frank, what a stretch of tough par fours here at Chambers Bay. Now to the 7th. Long uphill par 4 and a lot of trouble to the right.
Yeah, and it's all sand, that's for sure. If you miss the field on the left, then it's all dunes, so take your pick, really. But ideally, that green piece that the superintendent often mows each and every day, that's the place to go. And for a U.S. Open at 508 yards, if you miss that little green strip, then this hole will be hazardous because it's going to play a lot longer than that uphill.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. Good chance at one. And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie.
Even par currently.
It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. 3rd place now.
Well, this hole, the 8th, says U.S. Open all the way. Tee set back to well over 600 yards, Frank, par 5.
Well, it's called high road and low road, so which way would you prefer? I'd rather take the high road and that sort of whip one down the fairway there, hopefully around the 300-yard mark, and you just might make this par 5 and 2. Then you can tell all your mates. You take the low road, you're going to rack up a big number, and you don't want to tell anybody.
That one came right off the meat of the bat. He really laid into that.
More than got a piece of that. Second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Frank, the 9th hole is called Olympus. Feels as though Russell Crowe should be standing on the tee. starring in some sort of a movie about the Greek gods.
I knew you'd go like Titans and that down here. But this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich. This isn't for the Greek gods and the Titans of the world. They might think they are, but this is for you and me. This is for everybody. 36 handicappers. We can all play here. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
Not a problem there, Rich.
Settles in over the putt. Nice par to remain at 2 under. Picking it up live down at the 10th. Frank, I've really enjoyed watching our featured golfer to this point. Superb play through the early portion of the round. Now we get to this kind of middle section. Frank, what's the key to maintaining that momentum?
Well, not just maintaining, Rich. An opportunity here to turn good into a great round. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
Well, this is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course. Should be safely on deck.
That would be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Watches that one going as well to get to -3 for the championship.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round one.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Beautiful looking shot right here. That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
The 11th hole. Frank, what's ahead here?
This is another green that's sort of sloped. There's a lot of little slopes in this green here, plus the green angles from right to left. So it just depends on whether that second shot that lands. You've got to be well aware of what you're landing on. If you're landing on a downslope, it's going to kick forward. Obviously, an upslope, it's going to stop that much quicker.
Early part of this second nine, and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Now putt for par.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. And he makes it for par. Frank, when you think of U.S. Opens, you so often think of a tough grind, but in recent years they've added some spice with the reachable par 4s, and we have one right here at the 12th.
And this is the reason why we're starting to see a different type of U.S. Open champion over the years. The Rory McIlroys, the Tiger Woods, even Martin Keimer, guys that are strong enough, powerful enough to take advantage of these type of holes.
Oh my goodness, that is on in one. Wow, what an incredible shot. These putts keep the round together. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed a bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. Just 5 feet left.
Solid stroke there, no sign of nerves on that.
With just 6 holes left to play here at the U.S. Open, we arrive at the 13th. It's a dogleg par 4 to the right.
And in a U.S. Open, obviously 534 yards means if you make a mistake off the tee, the chances of making 4 here are minimal. So fairway first, it is one of the wider fairways on the golf course. You're still going to have a lengthy second shot, and you must avoid the bunker that guards the front of the screen.
This, the second shot here at the par 4. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
And he's made it onto the green now. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one is a great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole, too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
All right, Frank, what's the play into the green here?
Well, this green's got a little bit of a funnel effect. General contours slope right to left, and towards this green there is a little bit of a ridge and some mounding, short right. But just use those in your favour. The ball's going to do what Mother Nature wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Continues to putt beautifully. Getting set now to tee off at the 15th here at the U.S. Open par 3, and it stands out because it has the only tree on the golf course.
It looks magnificent, doesn't it? Get your eyes back on the green, Rich. Come on. When they use the short tee for the U.S. Open, just 167 yards. So this is really a hole that the players are just going to eat up if they get the right wind conditions. Just an 8 or a 9 iron from 160 yards for these boys. To a green that, well, it should be very well received.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Excellent read for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the United States Open Championship. Welcome to Chambers Bay with its massive rolling fairways, towering dunes, undulating greens, and unpredictable coastal winds. This links-style course providing the backdrop for the world's best golfers here at the U.S. Open. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo will call every shot today for EA Sports. Frank, what is Chambers Bay all about?
A nice blend of links and parkland golf, really. You can still play the ball, through the air, play your own style of play, but it just looks like you've got to play the ball along the ground, almost link style. These huge cavernous type bunkers that adorn the sides of the fairways, big greens, undulating greens. It really is a wonderful test, and off the back it can play very long.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
He'd settle for par here. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Well, here we are at the 11th. Frank, this is a brutally long par 4.
And a little bit blind, too. There's that big dune in the middle of the fairway, and it's sort of a bit daunting. You're not quite sure what's behind that. Well, what is behind that is actually fairway. And just carry it over there. That'll certainly shorten the hole up. And then from there, it's a little bit of a dogleg to the right.
Ooh, got all of that one. In straight, 325 yards in the fairway. The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green, that sort of turns this green into one simple green into all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, you hate to miss from that distance. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Nudge this one home, finish it up. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, we just came off that long par 4 at the 11th, well over 500 yards. Now at the 12th, we go in the opposite direction. This has become a staple at a U.S. Open, the reachable par 4.
Yeah, the logic would say just grab sort of a mid-iron to a long iron, knock it down, wedge it on there, and have no strain, no sweat. But who's going to play golf like that? Take the head cover off. Come on, chance it. It's called narrows. The odds are going to be narrow, but you just might hit the green.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That was not a very good read right there. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine. Yeah, a little unlucky there.
Shouldn't be a problem here. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. Just a couple of feet. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play, and Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it? Second shot.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Looks like he just misread that. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Didn't quite have the break on that medium-length putt right there. That's a bad bogey at a bad time in the tournament.
You'd like to think it's just a slip on the controller.
So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. 120 yards. Frank, when I think about a U.S. Open, I think of 5-footers for bogey being as important as a 5-footer for birdie at most other tournaments.
Yeah, and I think that's why when you look at the list of great U.S. Open champions, the names of Ben Hogan's come out, tough character from Fort Worth. Jack Nicklaus, the greatest achiever in the game. Tiger Woods at his best. U.S. Opens, to win multiple U.S. Opens, it just takes a very, very rare character.
Go ahead and do that. Birdie. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that June out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the field. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than, they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that June, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of the screen, so you've got to be on the right level.
The 11th hole. Frank, what's ahead here?
This is another green that's sort of sloped. There's a lot of little slopes in this green here, plus the green angles from right to left. So it just depends on whether that second shot that lands. You've got to be well aware of what you're landing on. If you're landing on a downslope, it's going to kick forward. Obviously, an upslope, it's going to stop that much quicker.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Solid play, heart of the green. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That's how you keep a round going, make them from that distance. Frank, as a player, do you like the drivable par 4? And we've seen these setups now at just about every single U.S. Open.
When you're playing well, there's no question, then they favor the guy playing well. But if you're struggling, no one likes their hand forced. The 12th forces your hand. It's tough to lay up on this hole.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. And no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
With just 6 holes left to play here at the U.S. Open, we arrive at the 13th. It's a dogleg par 4 to the right.
And in a U.S. Open, obviously 534 yards means if you make a mistake off the tee, the chances of making 4 here are minimal. So fairway first. It is one of the wider fairways on the golf course. You're still going to have a lengthy second shot, and you must avoid the bunker that guards the front of the screen.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. 18 feet from the bottom of the cup. Wow, I thought he made that.
Ooh, inexcusable.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you can certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole, too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think. That was nuclear.
All right, Frank, what's the play into the green here?
Well, the green's got a little bit of a funnel effect. General contours slope right to left, and towards this green there is a little bit of a ridge and some mounding, short right. But just use those in your favour. The ball's going to do what Mother Nature wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. All right, on to the 15th. Hey, Frank, what is that thing over there? I haven't seen one in a while.
It's a tree. That's right.
A tree.
Trees do exist at Chambers Bay. So do short par 3s. Well, in a U.S. Open, they'll have it around 250 yards, but this is a fun hole. This is it's sort of in a weird way, it's a risk-reward par 3. A good tee shot here, you can easily walk off with 2. Get a little casual off there, then there is a huge bunker that just wraps around the right side of the screen.
Up to the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
For the par. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That's well played. Oh, good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Right off the edge. Wow.
That hurts.
Clean this up with a tap.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Now to the 17th, par 3 here at Chambers Bay.
Yeah, they say beached at 16, that's the name. This one's called derailed. So you imagine coming down the stretch of a US Open, exactly what you're going to require. That's your best golf. And you're going to need your best tee shot here at this par 3. It mightn't be overly long, but when you look at that green just sitting up there perched, this one you do not want to make a mistake in.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
This one has a good line. That just brings a smile to your face, puts a little pep in the step when you make them from downtown. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Yet again, in the bunker off the tee. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. To win the US Open. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Just a tremendous week of golf, and that, my friend, is a winner right there.
Yeah, and he should be proud of himself, too. It took golf of the highest quality to beat this high-quality field, and that is something that you will remember for a long, long time.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. There's out of bounds over there.
He needs to get lucky.
Well, that's a little...
Frank, what's the key? You just hit one OB.
Somehow forget what's just happened. Otherwise, the same thing's liable to happen.
Now playing 4 after going OB on that previous shot.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And so the approach shot finishes up some 25 feet from the hole.
Yeah, not his best, but certainly not his worst.
This would be a bonus from 25 feet away. Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's going to love it, Frank. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Back down now to hole number 6. With a key stretch of holes ahead, our featured golfer really has struggled in the early going, Frank.
Yeah, a few mistakes out there, unforced errors you might want to say, so really attention to detail should be the concern right now.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Good clean contact and a nice result and a chance for birdie coming up. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Nice putt, and now back to level par. Par 4 7th here at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards. Frank, are you unhappy if you walk out of here with anything other than a birdie?
I think we'll see all sorts of different scores here, Rich. If you hit the fairway, then obviously you're definitely going to be looking at birdie. But you stray or hit the wrong club off the tee, that's really what this hole's about. It's about club selection. You could hit a multitude of clubs off this tee.
Just a great pass at the golf ball, 310 yards, and in the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish in that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right. The hole's just that meager yardage.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Frank going for 2 in a row now. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
It just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Now to the par 5 9th. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult three-shotter than what you were anticipating.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5.
Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
So that concludes round 1. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
And he's made it onto the green now. Frank, looks like pars are just not good enough at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, scoring's way too good today, Rich.
Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It is only 165 yards. Headed for the bunker, I think. Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
How about that bunker shot, Frank?
That's up there with the greats. The sound, too, is wonderful. Good use of the bounce, and it looked like they were trying to hold it.
Just a little tap in here. That is a solid par putt. We move to the 9th hole, and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard, and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Settles in over the putt. Frankie had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard. What that would have meant to him.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie.
Oh, that birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
That is just a beautiful shot.
Second shot.
I like the looks of this one. That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Always so nice, Frank, when that gleaming white golf ball is sitting up on those emerald fairways, the way this one is.
The game almost appears easy when one is playing their second shot from the middle of the fairway, and you quickly forget how difficult it can be. You look left or right, game becomes much harder.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good looking shot right here. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. And with that birdie, he moves into first place.
And look at the look in the eyes now.
Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, only had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself actually is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Wow, he moved that a long ways right in the fairway. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. And it makes the green in regulation. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. Well, par 4s, they're not all the same, Rich, but after that tee shot, I guess you can say this one's going to be easy.
That was a beauty right there. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. This one has a chance to be close. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. So a tester from 4 feet. He's made it. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. Second from an excellent lie. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Might be. Could be.
No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Beautiful approach shot there, and a good chance to take advantage. Shouldn't be a problem here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. And another fun hole here at Lighthouse Point. It's the last par 3 on the back 9 as we begin this closing stretch. 241 yards downhill. Par 3 16th. This could be a good one. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Good roll. 17th hole is another par 5, 613 yards. Frank, how do you play it?
Well, only the longest hitters can get here in 2. It's 2 big hits, that's for sure. S-shaped fairway, so if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you can still plot your way down there for a nice little pitch, and really great opportunity to get one back off the scorecard.
Excellent, perfect position.
Ball's just sitting up too. You could hit anything from there.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Oh, now that is going to hurt.
We've made it at last to the 18th, partner. What a finishing hole.
It is. It's a tee shot you have to respect. That fairway goes on that sort of 60-degree angle towards the left, so you have to know how far you fly the ball, and of course you can't afford to miss hit your tee shot. But a good tee shot. Let's talk a bit positive here. Good tee shot in the middle of the fairway, just going to leave you a short iron, and an excellent chance to finish with another birdie.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
To win the mid-season classic. That has to feel good. That's a birdie. That has to feel so good. A big championship victory. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
This is a shot from 115 yards. This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done. It just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
He'll need to be strong with this. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Par bid here. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now here at the par 4 8th, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of two bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those two bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be two bunkers down the right side. There is now one, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep, too. So judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Chance to get it close here. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
That's the end of round one, and we saw a lot of good golf out there today, Frank.
And it was a bonus to anyone that got off to a good start today.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Good swing, good shot yet again. On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Moves into the top 25 with that birdie. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at TPC Scottsdale.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it. Stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot. Well, sneaking into contention here with that birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. Now on to the third, first par 5 on the course here at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, the length of the hole hasn't really changed. Used to be 2 fairway bunkers down the left. Now there's only 1. Still a hazard that runs down the right side. A strategic hold if you can't make this par 5 and 2. And a brand new green that has been completely changed.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. It is on the green, but that will be a tough putt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Starting to pile up the birdies. 5 under par for the tournament. Really nice mix of holes to start here at TPC Scottsdale. The 2 4s and then the par 5. Now our first par 3. Just a little over 180 yards, Frank.
Plays a little downhill, longer than what it once was. Green is radically different. Used to be deep, now it's wide. And the bunkering, of course, is visually totally different from what it used to be.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. On the green in regulation. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Frank, this is a demanding driving hole, the par 4 fifth.
Another hole that bends gently to the left. There used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. It's now 1, and it's in the perfect position to make you think about your tee shot. Really, you have to be left of that. The new tee's added a little bit of yardage to it. The green still looks the same as what it once was. Tilts slightly from left to right. But you can see why a draw is the preferred shot at TPC Scottsdale.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. There you have it, Frank. The second round is complete. What are your thoughts?
I think anybody looking at this leaderboard, anybody in the top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly in a good position to win. Quality of the golf there in that first 10 is excellent.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. This one has a chance to be close. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Oh, I thought he had that. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. He has this attempt for par. That's good work. That's a good par right there. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday and a chance for another one today. Getting set now over the putt. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
Good contact, good result. Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Will settle. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Really some strong winds out there today, and we can already see the effects on some of these shots.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. That was not a very good read right there. So a tester from 4 feet. In for par. Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green, because the further back you go, the wider it gets.
This one's looking good. Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's really 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those two bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Pure strike. Good result.
And that is close.
Shouldn't be a problem here. And with that birdie, moves into second place. Finishing out the front side now at the ninth. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front nine, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Looking at 125 yards. Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate of a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage. But golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else. But it really works there. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year. Just 1 week where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's the final round of the Arizona Summer Classic.
I'm loving that balance.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, and with that eagle, Frank, now only 2 shots back.
All of a sudden put the name back into the mix just when we thought it might be too late.
Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the Gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole on the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they've dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. I mean, this is 20,000 fans, and there's nothing like it. There's not a single hole in golf that has more fans on it than the 16th here at TPC Scottsdale.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Now to the 17th, and Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just 5 feet left. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side. But it also, it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a great putt and a great win. Well, again, the fairways are lined with those huge galleries coming off 16 and 17. Now the finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. And Frank, what can we expect?
Well, this is a goodie. It'll play slightly as a dogleg left. Now, many a year, a player would try and carry the ball all the way over that water down the left side, but those new bunkers down there, it stopped the J.B. Holmes attack on this par 4. You're really going to have to play a little right of those now, and there's a couple of bunkers up on the hill to stop you doing that. So this is really a much tougher tee shot. 440 yards of par 4 just got a little bit more difficult.
EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray off line. They have to be avoided. And of course there's all the little landmarks, whether it be the Old Course Hotel or even the famous Swilken Bridge as you traverse the 18th hole. There's something at St. Andrews for everybody.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, many golfers unaccustomed to the full effects of the wind and playing without a caddy watch with great intent as their well-struck approach shot ends up, 1, not only short of the hole, but 2, short of the green, and 3, short of the burn by some 10 yards.
Yeah, you only need a puff of breeze, really, because it comes over the mound that's behind that first green. And for some reason, that second shot always seems to play that sort of 3 or 4 yards longer, even for the best players in the game.
Good birdie right there.
Yeah, this game, when you can't win, it's all about top 10s, top 20s. And currently, that's exactly where they stand.
Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
In the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but left is always the safe side of the golf course, but the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second.
Second shot, good look at the green. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. On the tee box here at the third now, Frank, all of these holes look relatively straightforward. Can a golfer get lured in a kind of a false sense of security off the tee here at the old course?
No, well, you can. This hole, the third hole, even shorter than the second, so reachable. But a lot of people tend to bail out towards the left. That's the middle of the golf course. And that leaves you a devilish little pitch or short wedge across that big gaping bunker that protects both the third and the 15th green. So once again, want to drive the ball down the right side, but there's a series of pot bunkers there.
Safely aboard. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
And now let's go down to the action at the fourth. Frank, this is a very nice start to the round.
Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power?
Excellent looking shot here.
Ooh, that is long.
Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
Really. This is that awkward length.
Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Wouldn't say that was his best, but not bad either. On the green and with a putt. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Starting to pile up the birdies. 5 under par for the tournament.
That was a great first day up there, Rich.
I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of birdies, excellent play, and some impressive names on top of this leaderboard. Anybody's game. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That will be a great look at birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
Now to the par 3-8. Frank, what's the best way to go at it?
Well, for these players, straight at the flag. This is the first par 3 you'll see, and a good chance to make 2 coming up ahead. But we do see a lot of long putts here with an errant tee shot.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. On the way. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie, now in second.
Frank, the old course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the 9th hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided are the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. So a tester from 4 feet. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, this really is a remarkable turn of events, considering that earlier we had pretty much written him off.
Well, we had, and for good reason, too. Was not playing well. It looked like the round was going to continue to go in that direction. But somehow, and believe me, I don't know how, he's just completely turned this round around.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. Frank, number 11, the Eden, is really one of the more fascinating holes in all of golf.
Yeah, the two bunkers that the players normally worry about, Strath bunker in the front and the Hill bunker to the left. What makes those two bunkers so difficult is the steepness of the faces in it.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
birdie try up next. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been here and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. And with that birdie, moves into a tie for the lead.
We've got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pop bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard. Second shot.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
And setting up here in the rough. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot just short of this sort of heather, good crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4, 15th. Very good par 4.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Well, Frank, these winds have not at all subsided. Still a challenge.
Yeah, the same for everybody, and that's where you've just got to adjust your own mental part. Golf course was going to be difficult when you teed off, and certainly no different now.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close, and then knock in the birdie. Getting set now over the putt. He's made it. Frank, the 15th here at the Old Course, just a classic example of links golf, where you might be aiming for something that isn't even on the golf course.
Exactly. There's a nice line there in between the two humps that you can see in front of you off the tee. If you keep looking down, you'll see the church steeple. That's the perfect line for the tee shot. Got to be careful with the second shot coming up. You see the 16th tee and out of bounds to the right of this green, and a little pot bunker that protects the front.
Wow, smoked that tee shot. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. They actually have a few courses at the home of golf, St. Andrews, and one is called the New Course. That's 100 years old, the New Course. So imagine how old the old course is if the new one is a century old. Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Now at the 17th tee, and Frank, this is really when you begin to feel the weight and the history of the Old Course bearing down on you.
And you also feel the nerves as well, because you're having to hit it not just at a fairway or over a bush, but over the corner of an out of bounds. And you'll see there's a little sign up there that says Old Course and Country Club. So you've got to pick the exact letter for the line that you want to hit it across. Hit it down the right side, this hole certainly becomes shorter. Left, you find the left and short, you find the road hole bunker. A little right and long, and well, there's a chance of going out of bounds or on the road itself.
Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This for par. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? Well, when you stick your tee into the hallowed grounds here on the 18th at the Old Course at St. Andrews, Frank, you know you're playing a piece of history.
And a chance, too, to finish it off in style, because this par 4 is reachable. A lot of people will aim at the clock tower, which is on the R&A building in the distance. That's a little left of the screen. If you feel a little brave and you want to make a hero of yourself, just aim a little further right, exactly where the green is. Avoid the valley of sin, and you might just have a wee dram at the end of the day.
Second shot. Good look at the green. How do you like that? He's holding. Just a phenomenal play right there. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the 144th Open Championship. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews, and you know the old course is old when the new course is 100 years old. You know you're in a place that is bathed in history.
The fact that they can't really figure out who exactly designed the old course, it just evolved. And the true, if you look at a scorecard, the fact that you go out and in, it's designed purely around St. Andrews because 9 holes are out, then you turn around in the loop and come all the way back to the clubhouse. So the amazing thing is you actually can, if you get lucky, play 9 holes with the wind behind you, and if fortunately with the tide it turns, you can get 9 holes with the wind at your back as well.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Has it. That's birdie. Now to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Safely aboard. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So close. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze. Because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, how about the bunkers here at 13? A rather ominous sounding name.
Yeah, the coffins, and they are that for a reason. If you finish up in there, well, the best you'll probably ever do is make a bogey, unless you're an absolute genius. They're to be avoided, certainly off the tee. If you do, it's still a difficult hole. The second shot, unless you hit a perfect tee shot, will be blind.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, it's obvious he is in complete command of his golf ball right now. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, you can actually play this 14th hole by taking a detour to another hole on the front side. Explain.
Yeah, that's the fourth hole. The fourth hole is adjacent to the 14th, and if you're in a little bit of trouble off the tee, there's nothing wrong with playing the 14th as a zigzag style par 5. So that means the drive, if it doesn't go down the right, you go further left and then back to the green. But it's a safer way, but a much longer option.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot. Because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Do that. What a putt. And now another par for the 16th, Frank, and another hole where precision off the tee is going to be paramount.
Yeah, the norm off the tee is really to avoid a series of 3 bunkers called the principal's nose. I never really figured out why they're called that, but it's not the place to be, that's for sure. Stay short of those is the safe line, and then a little pop bunker once again in the front left of the screen called the wig. That's also to be avoided. Another difficult green. Looks a little simpler from the fairway, but miss your mark with the yardage and you'll pay a premium.
could be a great look at birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the 17th hole, you can get room service along the way here?
You can. If you flare one right there, you'll also pay a penalty for out of bounds. And so that hamburger better taste good. It better be worth it. A little left of that, a little left of the out of bounds, and you're left with a second shot. It's fairly daunting because you have the road hole bunker to avoid and the road behind the green. Hence the name.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Got it for par. Headed for home now with a Royal and Ancient behind the green. A chance to cross the Swilken Bridge, just as Jack Nicklaus did, as Arnold Palmer did, as so many of the legends of the sport have done. This is a special place in the game. Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. To win the Open Championship. Good putt. And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.